Hi, so welcome to the deck list for Fearne Calloway, Mischievous Fawn. This absolutely beautiful card was originally a Gen Con exclusive promo, which was added to Redemption Store on October 6th and is now legal for play. I've been waiting since the Content Creator Summit to play this character, and I have absolutely fallen in love with Fearne throughout Campaign 3, and the abilities on these cards were one that I was very interested into playing. Being able to unflip foundations unlimitedly as long as you're dealing damage was one that I really loved. And the spell synergies are ones that people have been waiting more for. So this is an absolute beast of a character. And Fearne does play quite chaotically. For me, checking the exact same card 3 times in a row, to games coming down to whether I check a 3 or 5 consistently, Fearne is an absolute agent of chaos. She is a 6 hand size 30 health character with the Bell's Hells, Crown Keeper, Mage, and Warden traits. She has 4 symbols, which is very powerful out of the gate. The Chaos, Earth, Fire, and Void symbols. Chaos being the momentum check hacking symbols, as well as being the Mage and Spell symbol. Earth being the Warden symbol, utilizing resources, flipping, unflipping, utilizing your foundations and building in quickly. Fire being the discard, the mill, the cost for damage symbol, and just being able to apply pressure and hurt the opponent. And then the void symbol being this control aspect, denying your opponent's resources, stealing from them, making it harder for them to do what they want to do. This is all very Fearne coded and absolutely brilliant symbol selections from UVS here. Fearne has 2 very powerful abilities. One, your spell attack gets +2 damage. If it has the fire symbol, it gets 1 speed, which leads into the response. After your attack deals damage, you mill 2 cards, and if you mill a spell, if you mill a spell this way, you unflip 1 foundation. This means that you can utilize a lot of powerful flip effect foundations repeatedly, and there's no limit on this. So as long as your attacks deal at least 1 damage, you get to unflip if you get lucky on the mill. It all comes down to RNG and chaos, and it's a very fun way to play. So let's move on to the contents of the decks, because I am building on the fire symbol. I know a lot of people are building on chaos, but I wanted to build on fire because I thought that utilized a bit more of what Fearne was looking to do. Starting off with our pink cards, we have a Little Mister and we have 2 Rini. Now, only 1 Little Mister because that's all that I have at the minute until the rest from Redemption turn up. But Little Mister is here to, again, apply more pressure. We've got this static ability of when you would mill cards, you get to mill 1 additional card. This means that if you have Little Mister down, you're milling 3 with Fearne, and milling 3 gives you an additional chance to hit that spell and unflip. On the response, you have lose 1 stamina, so you can do this 3 times Little Mister if you're not healing them. After you spend momentum to pay for a keyword ability, increase the effect of that ability as though you spent 1 additional momentum. So for our powerful attacks, for our EX attacks, and for any other abilities that may come in the future that utilize momentum, including multiple, this gives you 1 additional hit of that. So if you've only got 1 momentum, you can turn a powerful 3 into a powerful 6 because you lose 1 off Little Mister and you get to essentially double up on what you did. First enhance will be powerful 3, respond Little Mister to lose a stamina and treat it as though I did it again, so 6 damage. What we at? So it's currently a 4-9. You don't get to completely double up. If you spend 2 momentum, you still only get the additional 1. But this can be the difference between life or death and making your attacks hit. Especially if you take into account some of the powerful EX abilities out there and the powerful abilities. Moving on from there, we have Rini. Now, I misplayed this quite a lot in the gameplay that I uploaded because I forgot I need to flip a foundation to unflip, and reading the card explains the card. So I apologize to Hayden. I think I started off playing it correctly, but by the end I was misplaying. Rini is a 4 cost, 4 diff, 2 mid block, 5 stamina, unique ally party warden, whereas Little Mister is just a unique ally. While this is in your stage, you have warden. Fearne already has warden, we don't care about that. What we care about is this first enhance, flip 1 foundation, unflip a foundation. We're kind of doubling up on the Fearne, and if we don't hit with Fearne, we have this kind of backup here, but Ideally, these become little misters in the future. Fearne, being a druid, being in tune with nature, I decided that one of the big spells I wanted to run in here was 4 Wound Restores. Wound Restore is a unique card because it can wound and restore. It's a 3 diff, 4 control, 3 mid block, chaos, fire, life, non-attuned, so it has to be on one of these symbols. First enhance, remove, gain 5 health, and enhance, remove. If your attack deals damage, your rival loses 4. So this is a great way to keep yourself alive. This is a great way to deal additional damage and try and get the kill. And on a big side of things, it's a spell. So if I mill it with Fearne, I get to unflip a foundation. Speaking of my foundations, I'll go into the attacks last because the attacks kind of... The attack lineup's kind of linear to what you're looking at. On the 3 diffs, not running any spells, but running some great utility cards. The new number 1, 3 difficulty, Earth, Fire, Order, 2 high block, 5 control. This card cannot be sealed, so it cannot be targeted for seal. And we're going to ignore the Pro Hero Enhance. This is unique, so I'm only running 1 anyway. But commit, return this attack to its printed speed. This attack gains or loses 1 speed. So this makes it a great way to block. But if they're also trying to reduce my attack to make it easier to block, I can put it back to its printed, then give it 1. It's a great utility card for helping me to stay alive and make things more blockable. Following off there, we have the TMNT card Cool Edits. 3 difficulty, 1 mid block, 5 control unique. This is treated like an asset for my abilities. Void attuned, which means it's going to be looking at denial of resources and denial of abilities, and that's exactly what it does. Response flip, after your rival plays a blitz ability, cancel that ability. So this is designed to kind of deal with these attacks that want to become harder to block. These cards that want to blow up your board or just want to mess about with you. If your opponent has if my opponent plays a blitz I don't like, I can cancel it, and it's a one-off. So it's something that I'm just trying to utilize quite well. Again, because Fearne is dealing with speed and damage, I'm looking at playing a Moment of Normalcy. This allows me to commit it to return this attack to its printed speed or damage. It's a 2 difficulty, 3 high block, 5 diff infinity. Again, unique, so only running 2. But it just allows an attack that would deal damage to deal a lot less damage, or my attack to deal its printed damage. And then on top of that, make something blockable or make it harder to block. It's just a good utility card, and pretty much all the decks I'll be running in the foreseeable future will at least have 1 Moment of Normalcy. Looking at spells, and a card that was kind of underwhelming in my matches, Fortune's Favor. Fortune's Favor is a 2 cost, 4 control, chaos attuned, 3 low block spell, which says after your rival fails a check, your next check gets +1 and remove. If you fail a check to play a non-attack card, your combat phase does not end. This allows you to have a more consistent build turn or more consistent kind of ability. This allows you to play foundations, play assets, play backups, and if you fail the check, your turn isn't over and you can have a second chance. And if your opponent fails to block, fails to play actions, fails to set up in your turn or in their own, your checks get +1. It makes your opponent have to rethink what they're doing. It's also a spell for Fearne, but possibly one that will end up on the cut list as we get more spells. Speaking of cards that will probably end up on the cut list, we have Magic Alarm, a 2 diff, 3 low block, 5 control, chaos attuned spell that says response flip. After the combat phase begins, your rival's first attack this turn gets -4 speed. So this is kind of banking on your opponent attacking in the turn because you have to do it at the start of the combat phase, but it's applying pressure to your opponent's mental load. It's making it a lot harder for them to have to deal with, knowing their first attack is going to be a lot more blockable. And it's a nice flip effect for Fearne. So if we hit during our turn, we can unflip it and have this repeatable defensive piece, but it's not one of the key pieces. One of the beautiful pieces, and one that I need to increase to a much higher number, is Short-Lived Promotion. Short-Lived Promotion is a 2 diff, 5 control, 3 mid block, chaos attuned with flip. With response flip, Before your draw step, increase your hand size by 1 this turn. So this turns Fearne into a 7-hander, and it's not unique, which means we can play multiple. So this can solve our issues of digging for attacks, we're having more extra defense, and because of Fearne, if it becomes face down, you can unflip it. And if you have multiple attacks that hit, you can keep unflipping them, and you can keep increasing your hand size, you can keep doing silly things. If we're looking for more attacks, then why not have a latent skill? Latent skill is a 2 diff, 5 control, 2 high block with enhanced flip, discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. It has air, death, and fire, and this is part of why I wanted to run Fearne on fire. This ability to filter, this ability to get hold of more cards and filter them into some of my attacks, very strong. And a great way to have strong defensive or offensive key filtering. Now I'm running 3 No Remorse because it is a flip draw that does require my opponent to have to have made 3 checks. But 3 checks isn't that hard anymore. People are doing more stringing. This basically lets my opponent know if you play a 3rd card, I'm going to be able to draw, and that becomes quite scary. It's a very good low. It's a solid low block. It has 2 of Fearne symbols, and it's free draw power. Fearsome Transformation could possibly go in, but I need momentum in order to not suffer the downside from that. Horrifying Realization could possibly go in, but No Remorse is just one that kind of puts pressure on my opponent not to string, or they're going to be giving me value. One of the big key cards in this deck that really does help, Inspiring Song. Not only is it a 6 check, a 1 diff, but it's chaos attuned because it modifies the check, and it has that free mid block. It has enhance, flip, mill free, feeding into some of the attacks we're going to be playing. Choose a player, that player gets +1 or -1 to their next check. So I can mill free, flip this, say my next check gets +1, and if Fearne hits, then I get to unflip it and use it on my next attack. It becomes a sustainable way to increase my checks and make it easier to hit. One of the other draw aspects of this deck I put in was plundering. I mean treasure hunting. Fearne can take some time to set up, and we are seeing a lot more people playing quicker, checking more, discarding more, filtering more. This form ability to flip, increase my hand size, and only discard if my opponent has 14 or less cards in the discard, is really strong. Late game, this becomes a lot more powerful, and with Fearne, I get to keep on flipping, and this gives me a form flip, a very hard to interact with ability that allows me to keep increasing my hand size. Especially when we've seen the rise of characters like Crystal Lens, where people are stacking decks. Having the treasure hunting down can save me, and because can be face down, my opponent may not even see it coming if I can hit. The last 1 diff is incubating. -1 speed may not seem like much, but if I can get multiple down, it's lots of more multiple speeds. And removing cards can streamline my deck, allow me to find more attacks after a cycle, and can really help with a lot of these cards like Sweeping Daggers, because it allows me to go, cool, I've seen you've got Sweeping Daggers, now let me sculpt my discard so that you can't do it. Because Incubating is a 1 diff, 3 low block, 5 control with enhanced, remove 1 card from your discard. This attack gets -1 speed. So being able to use this to get rid of some of my attacks can take them off the table for Sweeping Daggers. Incubating also feeds in nicely to my only 0 diff, which is Ignite. Yes, I probably should be running one man Inferno, and it's probably one that may get added because I've got this more mill-eccentric strategy forming in my head. But this is just a tenacious destroy. Your next check to play a card gets +1, only available if you have 10 or more removed. So after you cycle, or after you've used Incubating a lot, you can now get access to +1 to your check, even if it's committed. On a 0 diff, a very powerful card which can open up some options in the later game. Now, moving into the attacks, starting off with 2 Widowghast's Web of Fire. This is a very cool little piece, but it has kind of been overlooked because of its low damage unless you have momentum. This is a 4 diff, 1 high block, 3 control, 4 high for free. Fire, chaos, non-attuned. So it can only go in decks that are using that as their primary symbol. Mage Blitz, so your character has to have the mage trait in order to use this. And each rival loses 2 health, and each of their backups loses 2 stamina, and has powerful 3. So on face, this is a 4/4/3. If you have momentum, you can pump it up. It's not threatening, but with Fearne, this is a 5 high for 5 that burns 2 when played. And if I have little Mister down, that powerful 3 becomes powerful 6 with just 1. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 5 high that can deal 13 damage on a 4 cost. That is absolutely insane, and is just such a cool looking card as well. What against Web of Flames on a 4. Check to 5. Any response to play?
No response.
I'll burn you for 2 and all your backups for 2.
That's good.
First enhance will be 2 damage and 1 speed.
What are we currently?
It's a 5 high for 5. Following on from that, I wanted to go a little bit cheekier, and I went with 4 Mighty Blitzes. Mighty Blitz is one of the secret rares from the Heroes of Alexandria. It's got Jester and Yasha displaying absolute immense action on the cards. This is a beautiful Lachar illustration, and to me, it's just a very cool card. Powerful 4 on face, Charge Fury spell weapon, so it can get the additional damage. It's a 4 cost, 1 low block, 3 control on fire, life, order, and water. 5 mid, 3 damage. For Mighty Blitz has 2 very powerful abilities that do feed into other attacks. You've got Blitz, add 1 attack from your discard to your card pool, and Blitz, if you have a high in your card pool, this attack gets plus 3 damage, and if you have a low in your card pool, your rival spends 2 momentum. This is a great way to get your opponent off momentum, and a great way to add additional damage here, because this would become a 5 mid for 6 with a high, which becomes a 6 mid for 8 with Fearne. Mighty Blitz on a 5. Check to 4. 5. Any response on play?
No response.
Let's add a high to my card pool. Blitz. It gets 3 damage and you spend 2 momentum. First enhance, +1/+2. 6/8. Powerful 4 on top of that can make it very deadly, but it feeds in very well to the one of, which probably does need to go up, but I'm very scared of 2 checks. Spellstorm. Spellstorm, I've loved since it was announced, but I've never really got around to playing it, and this is the first time I played it, and I immediately fell in love with it. The combination of Mighty Blitz, Spellstorm, what kind of caught a lot of people off guard when I've been playing it. Being able to go Web of Flames or Targeting Blast into Mighty Blitz, then dropping the Spellstorm, which on face is a 4 diff, 2 check, 1 high block, Mage EX, powerful 3, 5 high for 3 with response. After this attack deals damage, draw a card. But the big thing is the static of you may flip spell cards in your card pool as though you were spending momentum to pay for this card's keyword abilities. So, if I have a Mighty Blitz and another attack in my card pool, yes, it's adding progression, but it gives me access to more damage or more speed using the powerful or the EX, because everything I'm running is a spell. The big one I did in here was I was able to get Spellstorm up to 17 damage utilizing Mighty Blitz. Very cool, very powerful, and won me games that I probably should have lost. Spellstorm on an 8. Checks a 5, 6, 7, 8. Any response on play?
No response.
Let's commit to number 1 to reset speed and give it +1.
That's good. Announce.
Let's give it +2 damage and +1 speed. So it's currently a 7 high for 5.
No chance.
Powerful 3, powerful 6, powerful 9, powerful 12.
Yep.
Somehow, 7 high for 17.
Is it a ranged attack by chance?
Power, no, it's a spell.
Just a spell.
Just a spell. It's an EX. It's a main GX, powerful 3 spell.
I asked because if I had the Rising Appetite in my hand, this would be a very different 10.
Yeah.
So,
You could check it out. Now, just because we're getting 1 speed does not mean that we're able to outspeed everything. And that's where Targeting Blast comes in. Targeting Blast is a 5 mid for 4 on a 4 diff 2 low block 3 cost from the Jester 99 Challenger series. It is a Chaos Fire life card with powerful 2 on face, but the big thing is this response. After this attack deals damage, your next attack gets +2 speed. In Fearne, this is a 6 mid for 6, so already threatening to be quite deadly. And going, you need to use resources to stop this, or my next one is going to be even harder to deal with. Absolutely solid card, and loved watching my opponents try to figure out how they were going to deal with that. Following on from there, we go into our duplicitous attack. This is a 4 cost, 1 mid block, 3 control. Again from the Mighty 9 Challengers, 4 low for 4 with combo enhance. This attack gains echo. This can only use its enhance if another spell precedes it in the card pool. So going Targeting Blast into duplicitous attack is a solid play because it gives you a next attack echo, and giving your next attack echo allows you to utilize your momentum out, but can allow you to double up on an attack your opponent may not have thought you could double up on, whether that is Spellstorm or BFE or any of these other attacks. It makes your strings go longer and can be quite fun in the process. Another one I put in that came in more handy than I thought. Spirit Lollipop. A 5 mid for 5 as a 5 diff 2 mid block 3 control ally spell weapon. Combo hand. So from the hand you remove this and your attack gets +3 damage and you gain 2 health. I did play this wrong in the webcam games, as you'll see in the stuff on there, and I completely forgot that it was a remove cost until someone reminded me. So I did play that wrong, and I do apologize to my opponents that I've played that one against. I'm used to just it going to card pool, not removing. But the big thing, if you play it, is you play this 6/7, and as a response, if they block it, you get +3 damage to your next, making your next one even tougher. So whether you play it from your hand to give 3 damage, or you play it as a 6/7, you then get to give your next one 3 damage if they block it. Hi, Paul. Any reactions to Blitz?
you're all good.
Please spend 2 momentum.
Oh, of course.
First enhance will be Fearne. +1/+2. It's a 6 for 5. Oh no, you got 2 speed. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Your enhance.
Yeah, I will pass.
Let's let it skill again.
Stage. Perfect. There is no denying that the new Chloe is a gorgeous concern, but the point of the conversation is
Yours.
I will
Pass. Okay. Let's make you push some buttons. Power for 4.
sounds good. I'm going to commit to give your Fury attack +2 speed, -1 damage.
Sure.
Very nice.
I'm going to add this to my card pool to give my attack 3 damage and gain 2 health.
To flip for -1 damage.
kind of going either way. 3 damage is getting through here. I really like it. I think it's very cool. But the last one is, of course, the big freaking explosion. I don't care how big the LGS is. I said I'm casting big explosion. A 5 diff, 2 high block, 5 high for 5 with a free control, ally range spell tech, enhance, spend 1 momentum, mill 3. This attack gets +1 damage for each attack in your card pool. If you milled 3 attacks this way, you lose health equal to half this attack's damage, rounded down after it resolves. So, with Fearne, this becomes a very chaotic card, and this is the one that I never hit badly on. Fearne never burnt me from the explosion, and I appreciate her for that, because this could have gone really wrong. These things were getting to big freaking explosion was getting to 25. I think it went between 17 and 25 damage during games, because I'm running 22 attacks plus the 2 damage from itself, and then you've sometimes got Spear, Lollipop, and other things on top from there. It's a very solid line of play, and it becoming a 6-7 on face with Fearne. Very cool. Being able to BFE on F5. Checks a 5. Any shots on play?
No sponsors.
+1, +2.
6. 6 high, is that?
It's now a 6 high for 7. Yes.
7, cool. We're going to Iron Collector to draw 2, I think.
Yep.
Your hands.
Spend a momentum. 1, 2, 3. This attack will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage.
14 damage. Cool.
Unflip all these cards and be able to utilize things like Inspiring Song and Short-Lived Promotion is very powerful. But the big hitters here were definitely BFE, Mighty Blitz, and Spellstorm, because these powerful attacks just got harder to deal with, and we're able to utilize the spell synergy really well. I don't know what I'd quite do different under, say, the other symbols. If I was running Chaos, I might go down the Inventor's Creation kind of line, but then it's not going to fire. I wanted to utilize this additional speed from the fire because speed is very important. But I think after seeing what I've done here, I might stick with fire, and I might move more into a mill-centric kind of play, where I'm going to just try and fill my discard up as much as possible, so Mighty Blitz, Spellstorm, and Big Freaking Explosion have access to the biggest aspects. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should I add more Spellstorms and make it more Spellstorm-centric, or should I kind of abandon that line of play and focus more on getting Big Explosion more speed, more utility, and just filling up my discard so Big Explosion can just hit really hard for a lot of damage. This is my Fearne Calloway deck. I've had a lot of fun playing it, despite her ability to just constantly give me attacks to check. She's a lot of fun, and her son are very powerful cards. Once I have 4 more little misters, I'm sure the Poop Monkey will, with his gun, will be help me out a lot more, and I can utilize the build a little bit more. But being a unique, you can only get 1 out at a time. So yeah, let me know, is this the kind of deck you would build with Fearne? Is there any things that you think I could be doing better? The numbers in the foundations are a little bit weird. I should probably move some stuff to 4 of, especially short-lived promotion. But I'd love to know what your guys' feedback is about the cards and what I should be running in your opinions. And if you like the gameplay, let me know. And let me know, do you want more deck tech with using the actual cards, or do you prefer the deck tech using the online deck builders? This is Brett with Universus, bringing you news, theories, and more. Win, lose, or draw. I'll see you all at game night. Bye.